Josh got a chance to look at those or not for you guys to sign.
Yeah, let him look it over. Is he back today?
That
I went to the funeral yesterday. So he has money in it.
Yeah. Cheryl said, well, they're gonna wanna know why the balance was low last week and it's up, so she gave you a detailed list of where it came from.
What's that last one? What's it say, M/?
Mobile home tax certification, that's where people come in and get, you're going to have your mobile home transferred if you sell it from one person to the other. They have to have a verification that the taxes are paid at the DMV. And the taxes are still coming in and due date's the 15th.
What my taxes paid up for you, remember? I paid up. Come on, you're supposed to, I was just testing your brain.
There's like 12,000 of them. I remember you coming in and paying,
12,000.
but I'll check.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
It's in the mail, I was gonna give it to you all. It's Miles and Town. Looks like it's a certain one, but those, everything in your jail compared to the state level, minority.
It's pretty much jail standards is called. Sure, answer this.
Is that transmission done all right?
Yeah,
That's cheap enough, wasn't it?
we got it done in 3 days.
Really?
Everybody I talked to said, that's the guy that works here now, and good,
Who is it?
DJ.
DJ transmission.
How you doing your scheduling? I didn't get over there.
We got one that we're gonna have to send to the academy, the new one that we hired to take Adam's place. He'll go October 14th, gets out on October 15th, November 15th.
Who's this?
Matt Talbot.
Matt Tolbert. Is that Micah's brother? Or? What was his past experience with you before you hired him?
He was working this until yesterday out at Honeywell, working for one of the contractors out there. He's done some electrical work before, but I don't think he's ever really had a job where he's, invested in a pension. He's 31 years old, so he's gonna find something he can make a career out of. That's what we want. We want to find somebody that'll stick with us.
it, yeah. Anything else exciting happening?
Search one over the weekend. I don't know if I told you that there Saturday night.
But, marijuana or whatever it was, yeah.
Where was that?
It's right around the corner from American Legion on 3rd Street. Randy Watson. We arrested him a couple of years ago. He used to live on 112 from Catherine Street. We made a search one down there a couple of years ago. Saturday we went down there and he had a pound and a half of marijuana in the house. So we arrested him for that. And the girl that actually owns the house, we're getting a warrant for her. Then selling quite a bit out of it. 2 little children in the home. They called DCFS on that.
Did she live there with him?
Was that a city and a county together?
No, it's just ours.
Sure. Neighbors turning, there's a lot of traffic going around.
A lot of traffic. We I don't know how long it'd been gone, but I didn't even know he lived there. I thought he still lived on 12th Street. We got a tip from somebody that said you just need to watch it real close, and after a couple of days, we got enough information for the search warrant.
Yeah.
But he's been selling quite a bit. And that's kind of what bothers us, is a lot of people talk about how, you know, they need to legalize marijuana because it doesn't hurt anybody, and then you got, what we found in the front room was like a quarter pound of marijuana, maybe half pound, ready to sell, and wasn't 3 feet from it, there's 2 baby bottles. So the baby who's got access to the baby bottles, got access to the dope on the floor.
But what's to keep on them kids, I mean, I don't know anything about dope, but that kid could eat that crap and get that same drug, could he not?
There's a big bowl on the table of all the roaches they've been smoking. When you walk through the front door, it knock you down, so you
Well,
know.
that kid's got to be constantly breathing that same air.
That's what we call DCFS.
It's a shame.
You know, a lot of people said marijuana don't hurt nobody.
Did he just recently get out of jail? Because you said he'd been in jail a few years.
This was about 2 years ago. I think he might even still be on probation for that.
He did it for a while now. No guns,
No, what he does now.
You're pretty full over there?
You know, so we got 53 right now, 18 out of county. Average.
Yeah.
Do you think next year we can go up any on the pricing for charges, or do you think? Maybe just food cost and stuff like that?
So we can look at it.
You talked to me about it. I didn't know what the other people around us are charging, if there are options that they could go to.
The last time we tried it, Saline County was gonna probably undercut us because they wanted the business. So we're getting 30 out, Saline may be getting 35 to 40. I just have to check and see.
Is Johnson County the problem? They don't wanna pay?
No, everybody pays. It's just,
Well, no, they pay, but I mean, wasn't they the ones that,
Ellery
said
told
we
me,
wouldn't come down? Or you
I
can
think they had a
quit?
couple of commissioners up there that was kind of, thought that, you know, if we raised ours, they might as well just take them to Saline County.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, just like me, expenses each year go up, salaries go up,
Yeah.
food cost goes up, I mean, what we're buying.
I would think it'd be just, I mean, Metropolis is as close to Vienna as closer than Harrisburg, is it not? By Saline County, surely the Harrisburg's got the jail, do they not?
There for a long time, Ellery kind of split, he takes some to Saline County and some to us, especially like if Goreville make the rest, they just take all the Harrisburg. But even though Goreville makes the rest, just like Metropolis, we have to pay for it. But he started bringing almost everybody down here now. You know, Hardy County's closer to Harrisburg, but they come down here because John helps them with the Medicaid rates.
So what you're saying, there's some services we provide that maybe Saline does not.
Don't, yeah. In some of these counties, I mean, the $30 a day housing is nothing compared to what the medical bill could be if they had one in the hospital. And he helps them so much over there with getting a cheaper rate. Like I said, there was one day that Ellery needed like 6 or 7 brought to court, so we took them up there. You know, it's just little things we do for
Right.
counties that others may not do.
Y'all still able to, in the mornings and afternoon, go to the schools, you also try to do that?
Yeah.
Still working interstate one up?
We'll do more, has more deputies.
Surprised you hadn't brought a proposal in here for something like that.
As far as the building, you know, I brought this up before, and they talked about it sometime, a water softener system for that jail. Did I ever show you that calcium that they chipped out of hot water heater one day.
Yeah, I think you brought some stuff over, didn't you?
I bet they got over 100 pounds of stuff out of it. And they redid all the valves and the water lines, which helped, but I mean, that's, you know, that old hard water is gonna do those lines every day, and I'm afraid if we don't do something in the next couple of years, we're gonna end up like these things right here, everything's gonna be plugged up over there.
So you got some pricing yet on?
John's looked at a couple of systems, I just, you know, you've gotta get a commercial one, because, you know, the kind you get at Sears, it's not gonna be big enough for it.
Will reverse already calcium that's built up in there, or?
A lot of them said it will, over time it will dissolve that, and it'll have.
So we try to look at, I mean, you get some pricing, we can look at it and see.
And it may be, you know, it may be something we can take out of the commissary fund. I don't know, we have to ask Diane from the DOC and ask her, because it's gonna benefit the inmates. But, you know, I just don't want the whole water system to go down like it's known here. Of course, this is taking 50 years to do it, but the building's already 20 years old.
Have you had a chance to look at any of the information that Joe Metasevic was seeing if they had?
Yeah.
Have you had any luck with that or anything else?
A couple of the items that we found, they've been in Mississippi or Alabama. We're gonna find some closer.
Shoot, we got a guy right here, it's probably let him drive down there.
Back, we're going to Wisconsin. What's still today? But truck's all right.
City getting something else?
I think forklift.
It's unbelievable what all the stuff they got.
Have to go all the way through for it.
And they're a reserve base up there, there's a base in
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
yeah,
you
but
used to
I
drive
can't,
by.
we've been up there half a dozen times, but I can't think the name of it.
Maybe we can piggyback on one of their rides somewhere, if they're going somewhere and don't have a full load, maybe we can.
We're just trying to find something either, you know, Scott Air Force Base, Fort Knox, or Fort Campbell, somewhere
Yeah.
closer.
Fort Campbell's got the most stuff. And they've others, but now, Knox, where I went up there, I've been up there twice, and they didn't have much, but it keeps coming, they replace what you get, you know.
So what have you found so far? Just, what did you say?
One of the main things he was wanting a big forklift and a dump truck, and some sort of tanker, I guess, to spread that that oil for oil and shit.
Joe ones.
I mean, there was like half a dozen things on there, but he highlighted the ones that he wanted. And when you find them, you just, you know, you gotta check, make sure they're worth going to get, piece of the job.
I brought back a container and took it out there, the city loaned it to the park. And, top was out of it. I mean, have holes, rust holes that big in the top. Nobody ever looked in it. So we had to go get it and take it over to the maintenance department over there, and then we brought them a smaller one for the park. Some of that stuff, you know, you need to look at it. You know, see if it's good. I should've looked at it myself and didn't.
What are the stipulations on that? Does it all have to go through law enforcement first, or?
Right now, yeah. We have to show a need for it. You know, we can get it. Like I said, most of the stuff we were looking to get, like the generator, once we keep it for a year, then it belongs to the county. And if you wanted to sell it, we could sell it. The Humvees or certain equipment like that, you can use it as long as you want to, but if you ever get where you don't want it anymore, you have to take it back.
So like, right now, the city of Metropolis applies for it the way it's working.
Police department.
Or how you show justification for, I mean, how would you like have a forklift for our sheriff's department?
You get that generator back.
Okay. I understand. So you
Make
gotta,
it portable.
No, that hiding prisoner material.
could be, comes in truckload. But it's, I hope we're able to get some stuff, I mean, it'd be nice, you know, it'd be useful for 10 or 15 years.
A lot of this stuff, I mean, it's got some higher price tags, what the government pays for this stuff.
Amazes me why they just don't keep it, because
Now, I told you what they said about the Humvees, you know, that once they got the Humvee on the base, they would keep it, I think it was 29 days. And if they didn't get rid of it in 29 days, they crush it, destroy it.
that doesn't make sense.
No, I mean, they got the sticker on the thing, a lot of them sells anywhere from $35,000 to $50,000 a piece. And they'll leave it on a lot for less than 30 days and then destroy it. And if they need a new one, go buy a new one.
I understand.
If you can't, law enforcement doesn't let them sell it in the general public.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that get $10,000, $15,000 for those.
There's people into that
Yeah.
fatigue.
Well, that'd make a heck of a hunting vehicle. Probably make a pretty good farm.
Farm trucks, yeah. Just beat the fire out of it and not have to care.
So we'll try again, give them some stuff.
Okay, well, thank you.
All right.
Like you say,
Properties worldwide. They own Israel and trillions of dollars and a big share of the world. The New World Order, that's them. They are joined with the royals of England, the Pope, the entitled rich manipulators such as Rockefeller family, Bill Gates, George Soros, I'm out of breath coming up those stairs, the Federal Reserve Bank, Monsanto, a most evil corporation, and many politicians. Their intent is to rule a reduced population of 500 million people worldwide, comprising of the very rich and the very poor slaves.
Have you got 2 copies of that?
I brought y'all, I'm gonna give you,
Can I
hey,
read, can I read along?
yes, you can. But this,
I think they give up after a while.
okay, I'm here.
Okay.
Since the Battle of Waterloo, that was between England and France, the Rothschilds have manipulated the world wars. And what he did is he had all the stocks in Britain, and he had couriers to come back and tell him before everybody knew that France had lost the war. So he went down to the Wall Street and he sold off all his stock. Well, they were used to him being there, so they all followed him and sold off all his stock. And then he had his people go in and buy up all the stock that he was selling and other people were selling. And he owns the Bank of England since that time. So that's the Rothschilds. Okay, the Rothschilds have manipulated the world wars, lending huge amounts of money to both sides, and with a side contract for the winner to rebuild the destruction of the loser country. When I was a kid, I couldn't understand why we went back to Japan and built it up, or Germany, why they built it up, but they did, and this is why. Yes, they financed the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I and II. We borrowed their money, won the wars, and rebuilt the beaten countries. FDR confiscated all the people's gold, instituted voluntary IRS to pay the debt of World War II, and gave us the United Nations as an entry to the New World Government in our government.
That's usually what time I've been waking up when I'm on midnight, so. I get up 9:45.
Great figures of the past, John Kennedy and the present, Robert Schutz. You probably don't know him, but he's gone to every state and got candidates, and they all met together and started a new, how the grievances to the government and what to do about it, but nobody got on that. But anyway, he's a great hero. The evidence is undeniable that we're living in an increasing tyrannical, unconstitutional Big Brother society and are being manipulated on many levels. Agenda 21 is what is ruling the world. The people of the world are slowly being poisoned and neutered by fluoridated water, genetically modified plants, and genetically modified animals. The chemtrails, and you see them in the skies all the time, are spraying aluminum, barium, and other garbage in our skies to destroy everything. Mass media is programming us to be immoral, ungodly, lying, and thieves like they are. The false flag 9/11, I don't know if you guys ever saw anything on 9/11, but it's obvious to people like me that was a put-up deal. False flag 9/11 was staged to get us into war with Iraq. That's all been exposed. False Flag, Aurora, Sandy Hook, Boston Marathon, and that was, all started to take the guns, it was put up by our government to take the guns away from the citizens. And now this is from Alex Jones, I believe him, he comes up with good stuff, but it's really scary. Alex Jones warns high-level military sources said that nuclear warheads are secretly being moved from the Dyrest Air Force Base in Texas to South Carolina. They are being moved without authorization, no signatures required, no record established. This means that they can now be categorized as missing nukes. Curiously, at the same time, Senator Lindsey Graham warned that if the U.S. does not attack Syria, Iran might set off nuclear bombs in South Carolina. So just think about that. Even though this information may turn out to be an error, we have decided to share it just in case it is accurate. Disseminating it widely may actually cause the plan to be aborted. So at the risk of appearing an alarmist, we urge you to pass this information on. I am doing. And now I'll get here with my business that I really came for. 14 Illinois counties, Clinton, Edwards, Logan, Macon, Madison, Marshall, Peoria, Platte, Randolph, Shelby, Tarwell, White, and Woodford are leading the way to reduce the Second Amendment to enforce the Second Amendment of our Constitution by refusing concealed carry permits and are allowing concealed carry within their counties, which you can do. You talk to your man upstairs. These counties support constitutional law, no infringements. Although Illinois finally has a concealed carry law on the books that allows citizens to carry concealed weapons in the state, the actual implementation of the law is going to take several months according to authorities. The state police are saying that concealed applications process will take several months to put in place, and the permitting process is not exactly ready to go on to now. But that excuse is not good enough for at least 14 counties, although some state police officials say they will arrest anyone found carrying concealed weapons. These western counties in Illinois say these cases will not be tried. Gibson, I didn't get his first name, of Madison County State's Attorney said these persecutions will go nowhere. These people will not be prosecuted as long as they follow the guidelines. And they laid out these guidelines, and I just copied them, but I didn't get this F on here, so. But their address is up here at the top, Guns for Freedom, Illinois. Now, you go to your, I would like you to go to your state's attorney and tell him you would like to do the same. You guys are the highest power in this county. You do not have to take mandates from the state or from the government. You can force our Constitution. We have constitutional law to have our guns, I shouldn't say ours, your guns, I don't have any, but to have your guns and carry them. I meant to bring my Constitution book, but I didn't. The Second Amendment finds it necessary, and it's the only place in the Constitution necessary is put. It is necessary for the militia and the people to have their guns without infringement, something like that. So this even a permit is an infringement. The law is a law, and that's what our country is. And they've taken our laws away, away, away. And you are in a position now that you can set our county up to be the ideal and do this legally, of course, but to do as these other counties that they have official carry, concealed carry law has been passed. The judge has said it's unconstitutional, so we can carry our guns. So I want you to do that.
We'll give it to Patrick. Let them look at it.
Okay. Thank you. You make me happy for a minute. I have worse stuff. Okay, now this here I got off the internet, and I think it takes care of everybody in our country. An electric grid joint drill simulation is being planned in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Thousands of utility workers, FBI agents, anti-terrorism experts, government agencies, and more than 150 private businesses are involved in a November power bill. The down-powered grill, they're gonna shut all the electricity off in Canada, Mexico, and the United States. So anyway, bottom line here is, you can read this yourself, but that's heavy duty, shutting down the whole county. Now, what are they doing this for? Now, I'm suspicious, I don't trust our government at all. They've got all these vehicles, war vehicles, they've been moving around the country and everything. And I think when we're in blackout for 2 days, November 13 to 14, and it will focus primarily on how governments will react if the electrical grid fails and the food supply chain collapses. Well, the food chain's not gonna collapse in 2 days. Now, probably most people have enough to carry themselves a week or two. But I think what they're gonna push at is try to get people upset. They're trying to start a civil war in our country. They're gonna push them to see if they can get a little, I don't know what, and then everybody will be in turmoil, so then they'll say, oh, government, please do something for us, we can't do it ourselves. Something like that's going on. Are you going to sleep?
No, I was reading something while you was talking. So.
Shame on you. This is important.
So you're saying our electricity is gonna be shut down for 2 days?
2 days, that's what it says.
Massac County?
I
I doubt that.
Okay. And the power grid down drill to be conducted by the U.S. government. Power grid, they're just gonna see how it is. An electric, I don't care if you doubt it or not, just listen.
Okay.
Because there is a possibility. The electrical grid joint drill simulation will be planned in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Thousands of utility workers, the FBI agents, anti-terrorism, government agencies, and more than 150 private businesses are involved. Now, you read this. I want you to read this. I just want to go over this and make sure you heard it. Okay, now right here, this one, sorry, I just didn't copy it very good. But this is the plan of the New World Order, and I'll just read you a little bit about it. The illusion will be so great it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. That's me. We will accomplish one drop at a time, which will prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use toxins, accelerants, sedatives in food, water, and air. They will be blanketed by poisons every way they turn. We will promise to find cures for their many diseases, yet we will feed them more poison. The poison will destroy their minds, their reproductive systems, and all of this. Their children will be born sick, and when they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood. This was written in the 1800s. But you know that a baby that's born in the United States now has 18 vaccinations and shots before it's a year old. We got autism, and cancer. How much money have you ever donated to cancer? They got the cancer walk, they got the cancer everything. It's a big money-making machine. They don't cure cancer. And if you look at holistic medicine, there are a lot of cures that are very good and cheap and stuff. Well, anyway, I wanted to get this part where they get fat, but. Well, anyway, read this, because the population will get fat and lazy and live off the government. Well, I'll tell you what, we're there. So they're getting their way. So that's 2. That's it. Now, see, I made a mistake here. Don't read that page. It cost me a lot to print these, and sometimes I printed both sides, so I just put this other paper on the back and used scrap paper, so
It'll be all right.
it'll be all right. Okay. This one here is bad.
So you don't believe in vaccinations, is what you're saying?
Absolutely not, and I'll tell you the truth, when I had my children, I don't have any anymore, they grew up one way. But they all did good, they're good to me. That's when they started bringing all that in there, in the 50s. Yeah, one day I went and took my kids to school, I said, do you get your vaccinations and their shots and everything? And I said, nope, and they said, they can't come to school. So, I convinced them that I didn't need those shots. And then they said, well, my kids, if they got their stuff, my kids had measles and that, you know, measles, that's a walk. Why do you have shots to stop measles? I think you have all those young diseases to build up your immunity, and you put all that other garbage in you, it's not good. Well, anyway, all the medical professions are coming down saying vaccinations are out, don't use them, they're unhealthy, they're full of garbage, aluminum, barium, and whatever, and these people here are the ones who are doing it. I just read you about it. Okay. That's that warhead thing. Am I done?
You did a good job, maybe you wrapped it up.
Hey, this is all fact, and I wanna tell you something else. This is just for you personally. You are a sovereign citizen of, Illinois. So you're sovereign, Illinois is sovereign. The federal government is not a state, it's a corporation. So they can't be sovereign, or workers. When the Civil War happened and the slaves were freed, these white supremacists, I think all our founding fathers in that, all white supremacists. This was a white country for white Christian people, and that's how they made it, and so they were supremacists. So when they freed those slaves, they did not want them to have citizenship in the United States. But they could get the Union, the federal government, to give up citizenship, which gave them none of our constitutional pleasures or, well, anything. But anyway, so there's 2 classes of citizens. If you say you are a United States citizen with a capital C, this is how nutty this world is, legal. If it's a capital C, then you are a sovereign citizen of your state. But if you have small c as a United States citizen with a small c, then you have this slave citizenship that they have in all the territories and the territory of Washington D.C. So do not ever, ever, ever sign a paper that says you are an American citizen with a small c, because you got it in, they got it in writing. They take just these minute things, so I want you to know that for sure. Be sure that you don't sign anything that's with a small c. Okay? Did I explain that well?
You did.
Got it? Okay. There's a lot of other stuff going on I'm not gonna get into today. I thank you very much, and I saw that you guys are going to do a tax thing. I just read, I got the paper, but I didn't see anything. The county was gonna raise taxes. Is that not you, is it Treasury?
It's not us,
It's on the front page of Metropolis Planet last week.
What's
The fine for the
a building?
building permits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, if you
Well,
don't,
I don't know that we're going to, but,
Well, don't do any,
we have been asked to,
who asked you?
guy that works in town here.
Oh, well, I'm asking you not to.
Okay.
Thank you. Huh. Let's see, what was there, something else? Well, anyway, You have a terrible money problem here, and I'm gonna come back next time and tell you what's going wrong with it and how to straighten it out.
You wanna leave that form so I can give it back?
Oh, what I'm gonna do is, thank you. You know, I'm old to live by myself, everything is mine. I don't wanna give it up.
Well, you're the one that said you
I
wanted to
know
look
it.
at it, so
Well, it's just
that's what I
habit.
remind you of it.
No, I got it. Did I give you two?
You sure did.
You want one, Michelle? That's what I talked about today. I'll get up and take it over. Don't look up. All right, that's it.
Thank you.
We're done. I want one to go to, our sheriff. I thought maybe he would be here. And, I don't know, I think as many people to know about this here, the county, gun laws. We need to enforce the Constitution. This is a perfect time. They have taken everything away from us in Washington. This is a perfect time for you guys to stand up and say, we'll enforce our Constitution and we will enforce our Second Amendment. And next time we'll talk about the First Amendment. I'll be like a TV program next time.
You gonna bring a video for us?
I would like to, but they changed everything for me, you know. Let me tell you something here about life. I was born in my generation. God wants everybody to work, so he kind of made me a slave type, wash the dishes, raise the kids, and do this stuff. And when it got to be around the 60s and 70s, everybody was off the farm, and everybody's in the cities. You gotta have a job. What are they gonna do? Well, we'll invent electronics. So they electronics, and then you guys got all this stuff. Well, you know what to do. You're probably close to my boat. I do not have an electronic gene. These electronic things, they just don't like me. Well, like this, I couldn't do this, and I got that other one. And I tell you what, I work for hours on it. But it's terrible. But see, that's what happens. Some people have an electronic gene, and some people don't. And I
They must be in that vaccine.
bet.
You reckon? They're putting that in
Boy,
that
I
vaccinations?
should have got the shot, huh? Hey, where is that shot? I need that.
Might not be too late.
But I used to make all these videos, see? Now they changed my program. I didn't ask for it, but they just changed it. And now nothing is as I knew it before.
Huh.
So I'll have to go take lessons. Well, that didn't happen too long ago. It happened to everybody. Thank you, fellas.
Have a great day.